Welcome to the Wind Dummy Podcast, players meeting version, whatever we're going to call that. I'm the host, Smitty. Tonight is July the 14th. We're going to have Ronnie on again. We're going to discuss a little bit about Krochol. I had to have him on because I knew he wasn't playing disc golf this weekend, so he was watching it while we were all out playing. We're going to look forward to the European, what do they call it? The European Disc Golf Festival, sponsored by Cool Bet. So it's going to be a fun show, I think. We'll see what's going on. Let me bring in my main man, Ronnie. What's happening, dude?
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm good. I had a busy day. I looked at my air conditioner and the coils were completely full of cotton. So I took the top off of that thing and sprayed it out. Took another load of crap to the dump. Did one other thing, but I don't remember what it was.
Sounds like you.
About 5 trips to Home Depot to get 3 pieces that I needed to fix something.
Sounds like a full day. I had a pretty good day at work too, man. I got people starting all over the place, including one here in Wichita. My main guy Virgil just started with Pi Barker, so we
nice
today. So
nice.
Yeah, been busy. Had a nice solid week last week of not being in Minnesota, getting my butt kicked. So I stayed home and watched a little disc golf this weekend.
Yeah, and you got some big news coming in the next couple of days, right?
I do. Cameron's fiance is going into the doctor tomorrow. They're going to start the process of having a baby. So we should have another Unruh in the next few days. I'm gonna be grandpa, so pretty excited.
She better take care of business because you have plans at 6:30. Make sure they know that.
Well, I will say if we're having a baby at 6:30 tomorrow, I might need a substitute for the kids, but I'm pretty sure I'll be there.
Or I could probably handle it myself too. Dude, I'm so looking forward to that. That was my favorite show that we did all last year. That was a great time for sure. So yeah, I had an exciting weekend of disc golf and a lot of disc golf. I got to watch a little bit of the women's over there in Europe because it started so early, and I was up before 5 o'clock both days and out the door by 6:30, and it sets in the park both days before 7. Had all the stuff set up. Anson came out and helped me the first day and really came in clutch. He sat there with the discs all day. I don't think he sold a single thing, but we didn't have to put them up. And then, dude, we dodged a bullet at the end of the lightning bolt came down and struck a tree just a few, maybe 120, 130 feet away from us, and it blew the living crap out of the tree. It was the loudest, most intense thing I've ever heard. It was nuts. So, but yeah, I ended up winning MP40 the first day over kind of a small field. The first day was shockingly small turnout overall. I think we had like 38 or 39. And I was a little worried that the second day, Sunday, was going to be about the same. But, man, we dang near filled that sucker up. We ended up running 109 people through Cessna Park. Multiple people played both days. I know that Justin Hart played both days. Damien Davenport played both days. I played both days. JB, Quentin, I think, played both days. So multiple people took advantage of the opportunity to play both days. And I really think that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool way to do that. Gus Morgan talked to me a little bit before the start of the second day, and he said, "Hey, man, next year when you do this, would you think about you run Cessna with these divisions on day one, flip-flop that at the Brook?" And I didn't think about doing that until he said that, and I think that makes great sense because some people work on Saturdays or want to go to church on Sundays. So, yeah, I'm glad Gus suggested that. So, anyhow, we got some disc golf going on this weekend, man. So let's start where we always start, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do this. What's up? what's been going on around the world of disc golf. Ronnie, we got a couple of majors this weekend. One that aren't even going to make our slide, but we got the Junior World Championships up there in Emporia. Like we said a little bit before, you and I are going to interview them tomorrow after the first round. I think I'm going up there. The plan was I was going to go up there Friday with Lucas, but I'm kind of kicking around the idea of going to Beloit. And Emporia and Beloit are two different directions. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. So I may end up going Thursday.
Beloit's this weekend, huh? State championships this weekend.
Yep.
Man, it's been 2 years since I've been up there now, and I hate missing that tournament. I love the tournament. I love the town, but unfortunately, just awful busy these days. And a week in Minnesota is kind of slowed down my ability to get away. But yeah, that's awesome. Well, either way you go, it sounds like it's going to be you're going to have a good time.
Now, I sent you some results of the kid long drive contest. What was it, 560 or something like that?
I don't know. 100,000 feet farther than I. So.
And then there was a 15-year-old that threw over 500 feet too. So these kids are incredible. And when I went up to or down, I guess, to Tulsa last year, it was so much fun watching them. So I'm looking forward. I'm gonna try to go. Hopefully, I can catch several of the kids. That's the awesome thing about Emporia is I can catch 9 holes at Jones East and then bust a move over to Peter Pan and catch 9 and hit the country club or Champs Landing and catch a few holes with some kids. So I can make some rounds, and I think that's going to be fun. But
yeah, we just get to see the local, just the local kids watching them play. These kids are so good. They're, a lot of them are just they look like little mini professionals out there. And it's that's going to be a good time. Get out there and watch them, especially on courses that, we know so well.
Yeah, well, they do a good job in Emporia of adapting the courses to fit the skill level of the kids. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about European disc golf, Krochol. I know you were messaging me a lot both days. I came back home, tried to watch the live. It is just hard to watch it when you know what's going to happen.
It's
it's spoiled.
Yeah, it's live sports in general, right? It's hard to go home and watch a football game after you know who's won, right? Maybe you can catch some highlights or something like that, but it's really hard to do. And for me, I used to really consume a lot of post-produced disc golf, all that kind of stuff, and I am such a disc golf snob these days. Like if it's not live, my nose goes straight up into the air to it. So. But luckily, I got to see a lot of it this weekend live. So
just about all the post-produced I watch now is on double time because you can just rip through it. You can still understand what they're saying, and you can see the shots. And if something good happens, you kick that off and rewind a little bit and watch it. But yeah, that's how I'm consuming a lot of it. And I love when we were in Minnesota, we could get up in the morning and watch most of the men before we had to get out. I love to watch that and then go do my day. But, man, when you're trying to play, it's just no good. Yeah, no spoilers in live sports.
Not at all. Travis, if you need some help and need a DGN login, hit a brother up. I can probably take care of you.
Yeah, you got a couple of extra devices you can add, huh?
Yeah.
So
I think they let me the ladies Pro
6, I think.
6.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the ladies or not?
You know what? I didn't because it was on so early. I didn't get up very early this weekend. I was sleeping in for me, which is 6:30, 7 o'clock. But I get all that. That's why. Especially with the European stuff, man, it's on. The ladies are on so early, and there's always so much going on. But I always make time for the dudes. I just have to, no matter what time it comes on.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the ladies a little bit. We can look at the scores. I watched a lot of it. I can tell you what I saw, which might be good. I can kind of be informed about the ladies because I've watched the men a little bit. I definitely watched the last 4 holes, but after round 1, dude, our new favorite was at the top. Cadence.
Yeah.
Found her way to the top. This gal birdied 7 of the last 7.
You got the last 7, yeah.
Yeah, to end up with a 1-shot lead over Holland, who I think she's the one to beat the next 2 weeks.
With
Let me rephrase that.
We'll get to it here in just a second, right?
Yeah.
We'll get to it here in just a second, but with Kristen's current mental state, apparently, obviously we don't know, we're not on the inside, you're just kind of the outside looking in, but with the way she's training right now, with the way her game looks, with the way she's carrying herself, Holland's the best player on the planet. She might not win every week. This isn't the Paige show or the Kristen show for sure, but Holland's the most talented player in the world if Kristen's not right. I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah, I have a hard time saying that though with Evelina there because Evelina can out-throw Holland. Evelina's putting well, and we'll get into that a little bit here in a second. So then after the second round, everything Cadence did right the first round, she did wrong the second round. She had a tough finish. She went 5-8 to finish.
Yeah.
And Silva came out of nowhere, basically, and shot a really nice 7 down and tied it up with Holland.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, we'll see here again in the third round what happened with ladies, and I got to see a lot of the highlights, so I know what happened. But we'll show some correlation on what happened with them and what happened with the men as well. That this golf course could sink its teeth in if you're not playing well.
Yeah.
Most of the holes are gettable for everybody in the field if you throw it perfect, right? We're fairly familiar with that with some courses we got to see in Minneapolis. Like if you threw them great, they're right there right out there in front of you. But if you try to go for too much, you try to hit that next safe bubble or something like that, this course can really bite you. And it did with the ladies, and it did with Cadence that second round. But then what happens the last day?
Well, Cadence is a baller, man. For a gal who just graduated, she is well beyond her years in talent and in fortitude, I guess. She's never out of it. This is the second time we've seen her. I mean, we watched her in Des Moines. She was getting gunned down, and I don't know about you, but I would much rather be the guy gunning somebody down versus the guy being gunned down. That's a scary situation, right? No matter what. And the biggest stage with everybody watching, too, it's got to just increase that anxiety tenfold for sure. But coming down the stretch, dude, Holland, she didn't throw it very well, but she made multiple just dagger putts coming down the stretch, which last year, maybe even the beginning of this year, that was kind of her Achilles heel. She would make a bad shot and then multiply it by not making the putt, but she covered up some really bad shots with some fantastic putting and ended up getting Cadence by 4. Cadence did bogey the last hole again, but once again, Cadence got 1, 2, 3. She got 6 birdies in the last 8 holes. So, and course record, which we'll look at here in a second. So, we got to. I got to give it up to Holland Hannon. Well played.
Well, I mean, look at our leaderboard, and there was no Evelina this week, but it's the best players in the world, right? The women's game has really it looked like it was getting deep for a while, and now that I don't know that it's looking like it's deep anymore. I think we have 5 or 6 players every week that we can count on being right there, especially with the emergence of Cadence. Ever since the women's championships, she's in it every week. Pencil her in for a chance to win coming home. And when we get Evelina back next week for the major, that's she's going to be right there. But it's pretty clear who the best players in the world are now.
Yeah, and I think there's, like you said, 5 or 6 of them that are heads and tails above the other. But I also think there's a handful that are just right outside of that could make something happen on any given weekend. So I think it's going to be some exciting golf on the ladies' side the next 2 weeks. And I really feel like this gal on the screen and Evelina are kind of the front runners at this point. But
I don't think you can count the kid out. Red she's here to stay. She is, and I love watching her play disc golf.
Yeah. I'm what's to say? Not sure if you plan on talking about the courses, but what are your thoughts on the weird double standard for ball golf courses and art? Oh, I think they have to put the artificial OB to make it hard for these guys.
It's and Travis, it's actually a good point. It's a good topic of discussion because we crush American courses for having all that manufactured out of bounds. I think it's the way that they do it in Europe that makes it more appealing. One, it's aesthetically better. One, you can see all of the out of bounds all of the time because they put the white stakes, and I think that makes a difference for me. If I can see the OB and I hit it, shame on me, right? But if they don't put that in there, imagine playing Champions Landing with no out of bounds. There's no penalty for throwing a bad shot. You can always recover really easily, and it becomes a glorified driving range and putting contest, right? And if you do that on pretty much any ball golf course with disc golf, that's what it's going to turn out to be. Look no further, and we'll talk about it here in a minute, what happened. Look how many times Cadence was just a few feet out of bounds in the second round, right? I mean, there's nothing impeding her next shot, but she has to take a penalty because it was a poor throw. So I think they have to have. What do you think, Smitty?
Well, I think this course is different than ball golf courses because this course isn't entirely on the ball golf course and it doesn't follow the ball golf course.
No.
Some of those holes are off, and not only that, scenic view and the huge boulders. And, I can't think of a U.S. ball golf course that the hardest holes are the par threes. And they were. Hole 16 was a killer hole on the men's side. And then, you think about hole 17. That's a really unique hole, not something that we see in the U.S. where they get those pars they want off the tee, but then they have to decide, am I going for this green or not type deal. So, yeah, and it was kind of fun listening to Juliana talk there. It seems to me like maybe hole 18 is the only one that's really shared a lot with the golfers. They said they couldn't practice 18 on Friday because the golf course was still open. And I'm with you, dude. The stakes that you can see from everywhere. I don't even know if they had strings. A lot of times at these European events, they don't even put string there. They just eyeball them and say, "Yeah, we're good to go," type deal, or you're out. But
which makes sense. They're playing them on traditional golf courses. Traditional golf, there's no line painted, right? There is some lines around hazards, but a lot of the times you're just talking about stakes. And look, are you between the stake or you're not between the stake, right? Are you out of bounds or you're not out of bounds? Mm-hmm. So I like it. I'm generally, it goes against what I normally believe in. I usually don't like manufactured out of bounds or mandatories or any of that kind of thing. But something about when we go across the pond for this 7 or 8 week stretch in the European, the European swing, I dig it, and I love the courses, and I think they're courses that I want to go play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, well, I put these two ladies on here. One, because Cadence is awesome, and I don't want to focus on Kristen where she's at, mentally, whatever. But I'm thinking that this week on the ladies' side, these are my two front runners. I think one of these gals is going to win the major. I think either Cadence is going to come out and just and have a great performance and win. And I think Kristen, I just feel like in these interviews, I feel like she's homesick, dude. And she's going to now be home for this week and probably next week. She's going to be around her loved ones. And this chick might just come out and show out, boy. But
a little home cooking might do her good, man. I don't totally disagree with that. I mean, she's still great. I mean, and like she says right here, and she threw it really well. And it's surprising when Kristen doesn't make putts.
Boy, it was bad.
Yeah, it's so surprising because all we've seen for the last 3 years is her seemingly, miss nothing, particularly when it's important. And she was putting like I putt out there this week, and it's just you never expect to see that.
She was less than 50% inside the circle, which was
crazy.
Never going to happen for her.
No.
And Joey, I don't know much about Julia Flores. I know she's one of the kids. I know there was 2 really young kids that were playing quite well. And what do I think about that? I think that's the norm. It's nothing to show up to any disc golf tournament anywhere and have some 14 or 15-year-old kid just shredding. I played with Loudon on Friday here in Wichita. He's from Wellington. I'm telling you right now, if this dude wasn't busy with every other thing known to man, he's a baseball player. He does track. He does golf. He and his dad won a cornhole tournament the day before. This dude is good, Ronnie. 14 years old, little bitty turd, and we better watch out.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about it for a long time, and it's not happening just with the dudes. It's happening with the ladies, too. Athletes are starting to play disc golf now, right? Kids that are 8, 10, 12 years old are watching the Disc Golf Pro Tour and think, hey, I can do this, all right? So we're starting to get more talented, more athletic people playing disc golf than we ever had, and that's only going to lead to more phenoms like Gannon Burr or Caden Spurge or someone like that to come in and make immediate impacts on the pro level.
Yep. All right, last thing, then we'll move off the ladies. I want to touch on what Travis he said. There's videos of Kristen's routine in 2023 versus 2025. And I've said it a billion times. If you think, you stink. And if she's changing her routine, I mean, she's thinking about what she's doing. And as soon as you let those thoughts creep in, I got to get a little flatter. I've been missing left. I need to go right. As soon as that stuff starts going in there, now you're playing tug of war with what's going on in your brain. The times when I have my best putting or throwing performances are when I'm just not thinking. I'm just going, and I'm just doing it like you at Worlds. You told me it drives you crazy when I chip those 15-footers in with my bag on or whatever. And the main reason I do that is because I just pick the disc up, find a link, throw it in. And that, honestly, that is a strange distance for me with my normal putt.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, it's cliche. It's been said for as long as golf has been played. Golf's not played on a giant course with holes and tees. Golf is played in the 6 inches between your ears, right? Yeah. And it's very clear. I mean, it's when the thing that can get in the way the most in golf is yourself. And it drives me crazy when you do that. But how many times when we just go pick one up, we just throw it in, right? Because there's the mechanism's clear. The muscle memory just takes over, and it's something automatic. But as soon as you stand over it and you think, and then you start thinking, and then you think, oh, have I stood over this too long? Or, man, here comes the wind, or I heard that dog bark, or whatever it is, and all of a sudden you're just done.
Right. Absolutely. All right, dude. Let's talk about the men's show. And from the parts I've watched, it was killer. So
is what it was. It was wild.
After the first round, we had, pretty sure, Ben Calloway. Yeah, Ben Calloway at the top of the 1070 rated first round. And then, little known to us, but probably well known in his neck of the woods, because that guy was good, Jacob Blair.
Yes, sir.
Right behind him. And then Gannon Burr, Raven Newsom, and it should have been Ricky Wysocki at the top of that. Hole 18 absolutely had that dude's number. Had his number. Took a 7 first round.
We can, yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure.
Over half the field birdied this hole on the weekend, and Rick took a 7. So take 4 off of that. Yeah, he's 11.
It's hard to do that kind of stuff though, man, because like every shot adds up the same, and whether it happens at the beginning or happens at the end, it does factor. So those games are hard to play. I mean, yes, Rick could probably walk out there this week and make 4 on that hole 5 or 6 times in a row, but you know, you make just a small error on those holes, and because of the way they're designed, a small error might cost you 2 or 3 shots sometimes.
Yeah, and
which I like. I like that. I love that. I love that kind of disc golf design.
Good. It's good. And then after the second round, Ben Calloway showed that this dude wasn't going away. He came in with 10 down, extended his lead to 3 over Lowry, who is no chump.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Wysocki, who took care of a little bit of business. And Jacob Blair said, boys, I ain't scared of you. Hung around. Here's a name we haven't heard. Yakub climbed into the mix. And as always, we know Cannon Burr is going to be lingering somewhere in there. Seems like that dude is never out of it.
Yeah, but he looked really out of it the second day. I mean,
Was he?
But hey, man, we all know better, right? But outside of Ricky and Gannon, we'll talk about, in just a minute, kind of coming from back in the field. What do all those other names have in common?
Haven't won.
Guys that haven't won a golf tournament, right?
Yakub won.
Yeah, but he hasn't won. He hasn't won on the Pro Tour, right? He's won a Silver Series. He's never won an Elite Series, which there is a huge difference, in my opinion. The field is substantially more impactful in an Elite Series event, even in Europe. And now this was a full field event. Everybody's already over there, ready for the match. This was no different than going out and winning the Preserve or any big event in the United States. So this is what I would consider a real big dog kind of win.
This is the same field they're going to have the next 2 events.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All the best disc golf course in the world.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna let you go. Round 3.
Round 3, you could see early on, right, that Ben throws an unbelievable shot on the first hole, nearly makes a 1. And you're thinking, okay, hold on a second. Maybe this dude's because I texted you the day before. Can Ben Calloway win?
No,
we've seen him get close a couple times, right? He got one, and the last time that he had a real chance, he didn't do anything to lose it. Anthony Barella at Jonesboro stole it right out from underneath him, and it was a little bit hard to take. Well, I mean, it happened. And
he threw it on the last one.
But his hand was already forced at that point.
Oh, right? He had to get it to tie, probably.
Yeah, his hand was already forced at that point, and so you're thinking, okay, come on, man, go do this. Maybe you can go do it. And Ricky takes a double bogey on the first hole, and that was the person you were thinking, hey, if someone's going to go, he's got to be watching out for that shark because that shark's coming. Well, Ricky starts off terrible. Ben slows way down. He's back to even par for most of the front 9. Laurie Lettinen looks like I'm just going to go take this away from everybody. And then you kind of start to see what's going to happen, right? About 10 or 11, you start seeing some of these names creeping up. Gannonburg is catching fire. Everybody else is kind of plodding along, making their deal. And then we get to the middle of the back nine, and now it's Ricky. Ricky's making a move. Ricky's birdied 11 holes in a row, and Gannonburg's birdied 11 holes in a row. And now everybody's within 2 or 3 shots, 2 shots really, with 3 holes to go. Kyle Klein's making a run.
Little
Nick's making a run. It was good. Ezra goes off. Ezra started so far back in the field he had no chance, but Ezra plays a crazy round. And we get to 16, 17, 18, which the 3 closing holes are really good. 18 maybe a little soft for the professionals if the wind's not blowing. The wind has to be blowing on that hole to challenge those guys, or they have to do something outside of their capabilities. But those 3 finishing holes are good. Lori letting in it. I mean, that dude choked. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Pulls one so far into the water that he probably never even got it back. Then misses the island wide on 17. He's done. Ben absolutely parks 16, even though it looked like he shanked it out of his hand. Catches a little hyzer and goes under it. And then throws a terrible tee shot on 17 that somehow skips up, hits a spruce 40 feet out of bounds, and the disc rolls back in to save him. And you're like, okay, it's Ben Callaway's time. All the stars are aligning. It's going to happen for him. And then he promptly shanks it directly out of bounds. And you're like, oh my gosh. Now Ricky's tied. Now we're going to the 18th hole, and there's 7 dudes tied for the 6 or 7 dudes tied for the lead. I'm like, there's no way to know what's going to happen. Then Gannon proceeds to do the same thing on 18. Tries to do something outside of his skill level, which even for him, can't do that.
Was he trying to win? Is that what he was? Yeah.
I think he was trying to eagle that hole and win it right there.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what happened. He proceeded to throw 2 straight out of bounds, and one of them almost hit the parking lot. It was so far OB. I don't know where that disc was going, but it left Norway. And then Ricky does it too. Like the 2 guys that you're like, well, these 2 guys are gonna. All the rest of these guys just let them back in it, and now these 2 guys are going to step up and they're going to be in the playoff. And all these other guys who have never won, thanks for playing, fellas, but go catch our bags and we'll see you at the tee. Well, those are the 2 guys that just totally blow it, and we're left standing with Mauri Villman, Jakub Semerad, and Ben Callaway. And then Mari's the only one who's ever won, right? He just won a big event. What did he win? One of the ones on the European swing.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
Yep. And what's he do? First hole in the playoff, shanks it, first shot out of bounds. Goodbye. See ya. And then, unfortunately, we decide as a tournament director to play the same hole over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And unfortunately, when you do that so many times, it's seemingly never going to end because somebody does something awesome. It's going to end because something just didn't happen good, and that was that's a good point, Landon. Yeah,
that was going to be my point when you got done. That's
a great point. And then we're left standing with poor Jakub misses a kind of a 50-50 putt, and Ben Callaway is left standing as the winner. But it was a wild Sunday finish, and the last 9 holes in particular was just absolutely crazy. So I'm sorry you got to miss it live. You were out winning a golf tournament, but you knew what was going on because I was texting.
My phone wouldn't stop vibrating on that. Nearly cost me a win.
Yeah, not
so,
really.
I've been a fan of Ben Callaway's for a while. I've picked him multiple times and talked about him. And dude, his speech at the end, that was good, man. That was good, and that won a lot of fans. And
absolutely,
every time they interviewed that dude, during the weekend, he was just so professional about everything. I thought Ben Calloway was awesome.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, let's talk about. Well, let's look at him here first.
It's always kind of been that way for Ben. He's always been one of them guys that, I mean, he looks the part, he sounds the part. He's been a good player for a long time, but he's never broke through. And yeah, I think that was a pretty popular win on tour too, would be my guess. And now we've had 2 times in the last 3 weeks that players that have kind of been knocking on the door for a while have finally broke through, and now we're left wondering maybe who's the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, let's talk about this playoff, right? We had some comments here, and it was a bad hole for a playoff. Just like when Paul beat Goose in the playoff at Worlds, that's a terrible hole for the playoff. As soon as Goose missed, it was over. So, I mean, that's terrible for a different reason, because those guys, I was for sure they were going to play all night on hole 18. And one of the important is over one throw. But I like the idea of aggregate 16, because that is a scary hole. Very scary.
Yeah.
And it's just par 3. Simple. They should get in their sleep. They're that good. Hole 17 is a fantastic hole. It's got bite off as much as you want. Think of the excitement that would make. A guy throws out of bounds. What's the next guy do? Does he chip up, put it on, or does he go for it, try to put him away? And then you come into 18 with what we really want to see. Maybe a guy's up 2, and the other guy's then forced to go for the eagle.
Yep.
And then that hole would be a brilliant final hole for a play. Then what you do after those 3 holes that's tied, I think you just run those 3 again.
Yeah, especially at the time of year it is there. Daylight's never going to be a concern. Now, you don't want to have the players playing a ton of extra holes. What I was kind of fearing might happen, because now that everybody says it, an aggregate playoff would have been a fantastic idea. But what I was worried about happening is what if that thing went 2 more times, right? And now we've played this hole 7 times in a row, and everybody's just taking the hyzer chip birdie every time. And then Smitty, the tournament director, comes to me and says, "Hey, Ronnie, we're going to now go to hole number 1 for our playoff." And I'm going to tell Smitty, the tournament director, oh, hell no, we're not. That's not what was decided previously. I didn't practice hole 1. I practiced 18 because I expected to be in this playoff. And yeah, that would have been a hard conversation to have. I was fearful either that was going to happen, or we were going to get a couple more times and it was going to be
dark.
Okay, Smitty, you and Ronnie now need to share this. You guys are co-champions. And that would have been a really, anticlimactic way to end what happened. And it already kind of was. The playoff got boring. About the 4th time they went through, I was like, I was playing around on my phone half the time.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing to do. They don't have a lot of B-roll to come to. They don't have backstories to tell.
They've got Nate Perkins to talk to. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we do. That would have put people to sleep. But I heard something that Brian Earhart was trying to people were putting things on Reddit. He was trying to include them in his commentary over his last few playoff holes. But first of all, the first thing could never happen. They couldn't switch the hole they were going to play at the end. And we have had co-champions before. It happened at Ledgestone with Calvin and somebody. I don't remember who. Because of the lightning bolt. That was a big lightning bolt that time too. So yeah, man, it was a great tournament. I hope that the next one coming up. Hope it can hang.
Well, we had an incredible finish at this event last year. If we could have anything similar to it, then I think we're in for another good one.
Yeah. Well, it's already being met with some controversy. They had a big music festival there 2 weeks ago, and it rained. And this is while we were in Minneapolis, and if not hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of people for this music festival in the rain, stomping around, mud holes everywhere. So, from what I've read, what I've been able to find, 4 of the holes have major issues, and they're trying to lay down new sod. 2 of which are 1 and 18, right? Which makes sense because that's the big stage for the show. That's where all the people are.
Yeah.
I know they're doing the best they can, right? But what happens if one of the better athletes? I mean, when I got sod, number one, I had to water it for a month. Just had to keep watering it. And you weren't supposed to walk on it or mow it or anything. But this is a different thing though too. They change football fields at the big game. They'll lay down new sod and go for next week. But
they're laying it down in between areas that are also still good turf. So when they have to do something like that, then it's more of repair sod than what we're talking about probably here, which is replacing large amounts of square footage of turf. And I did spend about 16 years in that industry, and sod and getting sod to take over 10 days is going to be extremely difficult. And it's I'm hoping for the best. They're doing all they can do. It's not like we can go move this tournament somewhere else for next week or say, hey, we're going to play 2 straight majors at the Beast, because that would be equally poor. But they're going to do the best they can. I hope that an athlete doesn't get hurt.
The tournament director in the article I read said, we've got a plan, and if we can't pull it off, we'll just change the holes. Kudos, do it, right? That's what you need to do. Now I'm with Greg. I think it's going to be in okay shape. And here's kind of the reason. Even if hole 1 is absolutely destroyed, most of the field is throwing over 3/4 of this entire area and then chipping up. So it's not an aggressive second shot. So I think they might be okay there. And 18 is kind of the same way. It's a drive and then a putt. I think where they're going to have the most issue is if there's a spot where they're being forced to throw hard off of sod laid on slippery mud.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm no sod expert. I just bought 2 sod yards and watered them.
We'll know a lot more probably by tomorrow, because we're going to start seeing practice round videos come out and that kind of stuff. And if the course is in good shape, then it's kind of a moot point. And that's what we hope for. But I'm just concerned about, hey, this is the biggest stretch of disc golf of the year for these guys, and I just don't want anybody to go down or have something bad happen, because unfortunately it was poor timing to have this and that festival so close to each other.
Yeah, this guy is going to be busy this weekend. I looked at the course map. All 18 holes have OB.
Yep.
And I don't remember it being a big issue last year. I don't know if they're calling this the Rockstar course. So I don't know if they're changing it, or maybe they picked up Rockstar Energy Drink as a sponsor, because they had some killer sponsors last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the reason is. I don't know if it's that much different of a course, or it's going to be tighter, or if POP will even be in play. But I thought it was kind of interesting that all 18 holes had OB of some sort on them.
That's even if they're only moderately in play. That is so draining at the end of a disc golf round to know that I have to be so exacting with every shot that I make that if not, it's going to cost me multiple shots. That'll wear you out mentally just to play a golf course like that.
I don't think it's as tight as something like USCGC or something like that. Oh, Travis thinks it's because it's concert venue.
Well, it's the amphitheater is the coolest number one tee in disc golf. I think that's pretty clear. That is pretty awesome.
It's pretty good, especially if they do stuff like they did last year with Albert.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'll get to for sure take in Thursday and Friday, and I haven't decided if I'm playing Beloit or not. If it's going good on this golf course this tournament here, I may just stay home and not sweat my butt off. So. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We can't get into it too much because we got to give our picks and stuff.
Sure.
So, but Ronnie, are we idiots?
Why is that?
The last time you were on the show, we had this exact slide right here on, talking about who was next, and Ben Calloway didn't make our list of guys who were
Well,
next.
I mean, he's one we talk about quite a bit, but look, had this been 2 years ago, he's definitely on that list. But Ben has not played as well, really, kind of since AB did him in at Jonesboro. He just hasn't been as consistent a player. He hasn't been in the mix as much, and that's why it was kind of a little bit. I mean, he's had a couple of decent events this year, but when he jumped up to lead the first round, you thought, I mean, tell me you weren't in the back of your mind thinking, oh, that was a good round by Ben, but come Sunday, where's he going to be, right?
That's in the back of my mind. You asked me, can he win? I said no.
And then
8 holes in, I said yes, he can.
He wins wire to wire. He led every round. So, good for Ben, and shame on us for not including that guy because he's been one of them guys that we've been talking about getting that worst first win for several years.
Yeah, and that slide was intended to be a little higher when we were talking about Krochol, but I had to point out the fact that we probably have left 5 or 6 guys off of that list. Truth be told.
Yeah, Jakub's not on there, and neither is Jake Myers, though.
Oh my gosh! All right, weekly picks. Another terrible week for me. I'm just getting so bad at this game.
Who was Kevin Babbit was last week.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Logan showed up Sunday, round 2, hole 3. I just went birdie par, and I walked around the down the dip and up the hill, and Logan's there, and I said, "Hey, what's going on, man?" He says, "I'm just here to make sure you win, so you have money to pay for my dinner." So we're gonna try to go this week and knock that out. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go to Texas Roadhouse.
Surprised you didn't show up with a bib and a fork and knife.
Yeah, but he watched the whole round, so that was kind of fun. So yeah, Kevin and I started off with our sleeps. He went KJ USA, and I was being real smart. I went with James Proctor because he hasn't played this year, and he's played like crap when he was. And we both sucked. We both got reds. KJ got 59, which I think his average place was 36, and there's no way I can get anything but a red for a 76th place on James Proctor. So double reds there. We both did a terrible job on our sweep picks. Our shines. Kev went at Rick because he was the defending champ. And I went Calvin. Calvin's generally pretty good.
Yeah, Rick finishes tied 9th and had the lead on the last hole.
Yeah. And Calvin didn't have a shot on video.
And Calvin, was halfway to, Nokia before Rick even teed off on the 18th hole. So.
Oh, here we go. Stinks.
What?
This guy tried to get take me to Roadhouse.
I
think
don't
it's Cannon
understand you guys who pick. Why do you guys consistently pick the top 5 players in the world to be your stakes?
Burr.
Do you guys just like buying steak for other people?
If Gannon Burr has a bad tournament,
Hey, buddy. I'd like you to tell me what you think the worst finish that kid has had all season on the Elite Series.
8th place.
I think it's 11th. I think he had one 11th. I think that's the only one like outside of the top 7. Go ahead, pick him every week. You're just gonna end up buying steak more often than you're not.
I probably picked him this week.
I hope you did. Me and Logan can go eat together.
Well, if Gannon would have won, I was going to have Kevin take Logan. So, yeah, well, Kev actually got the green.
You guys picked the probable world champ and the 2-time defending world champ. So, good job.
Hey, Kev got a green out of it because Gannon
I'm telling you, the guy I think this week is going to stink.
4 worse than his average finish. All right. Well, let's talk about our picks for this week, shall we?
Sure.
Let me get my writing utensil down so I can put this in. Put this on paper. You're the guest. You get to start. Where do you want to start?
I get to read this thing out.
Yeah.
Where do I want to go? I'm going to go with my sleeper first.
All right.
With my sleeper first. Timu Lampinen is my sleeper.
Okay. Why?
Because he throws really far.
Don't need to.
And he's a better player than his 1023 rating.
Okay. Well, let's go, Timu. Woohoo! I went with the guy that had a shot at winning last week, but didn't. Mallory. Reason being, trying to get smart again. He's frozen. 17th place average finish. 10th place at this event last year. I think he can do better.
I sometimes think that maybe you guys just don't understand how this works. So you've got a guy that finished averages 17th place, which is pretty good.
That is really good.
It's pretty good. So if he finishes 10th, did he have a really good week?
Yeah, 5
He's 7 spots better than he's. What are you trying to do?
Hey, man. You play your way, I'll play mine.
Hey, no problem. I can't wait to get all the green check marks. I haven't had them in so long.
I've never picked the bazooka for a sleeper. Oh, my gosh.
No, you're up. You got the next one.
Okay. I'm going to go Shine. You better make fun of my Shine pick.
Oh, there's three or four people that it can be, and that's about it.
Richard Wysocki.
I mean, yeah, that's one of the acceptable answers.
What do you say? Chalk?
No, I mean, we're picking Shine, right? We're picking a winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what, you think I'm going to pick Goose Gossage?
I mean,
I'm not going to pick someone that I don't think can win. My pick is not, however, Gannon Burr or Ricky Wysocki.
Oh, good.
I think that that the little Finn gets his first major.
Little Nick, huh?
Little Nick is what I'm going to take.
Nick's a good pick. Nick's playing really well this year. He was in the running this week. We didn't even know it.
And we didn't even know it till we did it.
Yeah. So I think, he's already won, what, twice? 3 times. 3 wins, I think, this year.
It's either 2 or 3. One over here, one over there, and maybe there was 2 over there.
think there's 2 here. I gotta look.
I know he won Austin again, right? He's got a couple of them hideous
Back to
cowboys.
back there. Nick, where you at, buddy? Nick, I gotta look. I gotta know.
All right. Well, I'm going to start finding my my stinker while you're doing that. And I'm going to start talking about that person.
Open at Austin, Music City.
Oh, Music City, sure.
All A, whatever it is. All A.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. Joe says 3. All right, who's your stink? Oh, you just now finding them?
No. Are you ready for it?
Ready.
I'm going to take one that is we keep getting told is one of those guys, but I ain't ready to. I don't know that he's one of those guys, and I think some of the Europeans are not going to play this well this week because the Americans are going to assert other than Little Nick, and I'm going to go with Vino Makala to stake.
Yeah, duh. And be slow on top of it. All right. Do you know his average finish or anything like that?
I don't know, but I'm going to say probably his average finish is somewhere in the 20s.
Okay. So you're
And
saying
I think he's going to finish well outside of that. And I am going to be in never at any point this weekend am I going to be in danger of marring a prime rib. So,
well, how much fun is that?
I mean, it's a lot of fun. You know,
man, I like
you. I mean, I could do something crazy and say Evan Smith or something like that, and then Evan Smith wins his first tournament, and I look like a fool.
No, I didn't pick Evan Smith. So, would a guy who averages 18th be a good safe bet?
I mean, yeah. I mean, 18th. That's someone who's playing well.
Good. And if he finished 43rd here last year,
finished 43rd here last year. You got a good track record to go back on, sure.
And
oh my gosh, who did this? Am I going to call you an idiot here in a second?
That's right, roll.
Oh my gosh.
I know, Joe.
He's.
You just told me he was a good fit.
Yeah, but he had never finished better than like 80th at Des Moines either. I mean, he just cost you a steak.
I love my pick.
He just cost you a steak.
Oh, bad pick.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. I would agree.
I think it's a good pick. All right, we'll see how this plays out.
I'm couldn't be a bigger Ezra Aderhold fan.
I'm a fan of him too. So he's gonna have a bad week. I don't think it plays to his biggest strength, which is I guess putting is now his biggest strength. But throwing far, I just don't think it's a big necessity here. We'll see. Hopefully it
always
doesn't win.
It always
Yeah. I agree. All right, well. Couple things here before we get out of here. We rebooted our fantasy. We had, I think, 16 of us in, 14 or 16. You can see the names there. And we have the people who took some safe picks this week, like Anthony Barella and Calvin Heinberg. Most generally safe picks. Oh, yeah.
Are they safe picks the first week, though?
Hey,
because what's the goal? I don't know. Maybe I should host a Survivor strategy class. Because what is the goal of Survivor?
Get to the next week, baby.
Get to the next week. If you have a plan to save somebody, ask one of these guys how smart they feel saving Gannonburg.
Yeah, I'm never saving Gannonburg.
I'm never saving anybody.
Gannonburg's coming off my list first every time first week.
I mean, yeah, it's to me last week there was three. I mean, it was Gannon Burr, Ricky Wysocki, or Nicholas Antela. That was the only three I even considered. And nobody loves Anthony Varela more than I do. And Heimberg seemed like a safe one, but like Adam Hammies, that's your first pick. Like that's your first pick. It's Adam Hammies.
Hey, take it easy on Artie. It's his first time in the Survivor League.
I love Artie, but maybe Artie's the first one to sign up for the Survivor strategy class.
When is this posted? Can you do another class on shine, stink, or sleep?
I don't know. Talk to me Sunday about noon or 2:00, and maybe I won't want to be hosting anything.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, it looks like Tyson survived with Little Nick. Knopf and Jason Zimmerman both said bye-bye with Anthony. Schaefer, Ronnie, Michael Schmidt, and Junod all safe with Gannon Burr. Ooh, I didn't take Gannon Burr first. And then we lost Sal, Artie, Gampa, Ryan Clement, and Anson, all with Vinny. And Smitty and Cooey, Nick Gordon. And if I'm making the same pick as Patsy, I know I'm in a good spot. Took Wysocki, and then Brett didn't get a pick.
Landon, I saw what you put. That's fine, but we're not trying to see who's winning, though, right? This isn't about finding the winner. This is your very first choice of someone who finishes top 15. And, oh, by the way, we're going to have to go a long ways back into last season before we find Gannon Burr missing the top 15. Just saying.
Oh, man. Let's wrap this up for Ronnie here. Takes this awesome people.
I'm not on very much anymore, man. I gotta play the role as best I can while I'm here.
Okay, yeah, you're doing good. I gotta find my right. All right, big deal. Welcome to Big Deal, the segment of the show where Ronnie, in this case, takes a deep dive into things that everybody's talking about, whether they deserve the hype and truly are a big deal, or they're just, a total overblown, big deal, bro. Ronnie, this week we have Kyle Klein making an Instagram post that says, new disc golf park baskets are still bad. If you don't know, disc golf park baskets are made by Discmania, Kyle Klein's #1 sponsor. Big deal or big deal, bro?
Before I answer, what has changed about the disc golf park? We obviously don't have very many disc golf park courses around here, so I'm unfamiliar with the changes.
No idea, but that's what they're putting on this week. Last week.
I would say it's probably, big deal, bro. That being said, probably not a good idea to be running down the folks that are lining your pockets with cash. I mean, I guess kudos to him for speaking his mind if he really feels that strongly about it. But I would probably say I'd probably want to do that a little more in private, and not throw that all over social media. But who cares? First of all, I don't care what Kyle Klein thinks anyway.
I got Kyle Klein.
Well, you're not getting Kyle Klein on here to interview, I suppose. But no, I mean, who cares?
I'm going to go with Landon here, but for a different reason. He said, just like Isaac said, prodigy baskets suck. Now, I don't think Isaac said it within play. He didn't say it. He said it in the moment. He didn't have time to digest it and make a social media post. But if I was a guessing man, a betting man, I would say that Kyle Klein is probably not happy with his contract or whatever's going on behind the scenes. And I think he might be on his way out. Where he lands, I don't know. Whoever gets him is lucky to have him because he is a great player.
Of course.
Lucky might be a strong word, though, because I don't know if Kyle Klein moves the disc golf needle.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of points there. One, that would be if there's something more underlying, and this is his way of kind of throwing shade in a little bit of a manner that maybe only the people in the know pick up on. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, we like K2 because he's a great player, right? We like watching him play disc golf. But who really cares about Kyle Klein? Right? I mean, he's not one of the most popular players on tour. I can't imagine he's moving plastic, right? He's not any of those. He's not Eagle or any of those guys, right? That was moving it for Discmania. Is Discmania struggling? That's probably the bigger question. Who do they have that's going to move Frisbees?
Gannonburr.
Other than Gannonburr. But is he really moving a ton of plastic?
Little Nick.
Are they moving plastic, though? Right?
Yeah, Discmania is I would say in our area, Discmania is probably the second hottest
Really?
right now. Yeah, I mean, my Discmania totes probably took the second biggest hit this week, right behind MVP. And MVP would have won in a landslide had I had more of it. I mean, people really, 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 really like that plastic. So,
and that's how little I know about disc sales. Because, I mean, I other than what I move when I'm vending in a tournament with you, I have no idea. Because there's 4 or 5 Frisbees that I look for, and I don't look for anything else. So I mean, I would have never guessed that Discmania was that popular, particularly around here.
Yeah, it is popular around here. I think this is a big deal, bro. I think it's the first sign that Kyle's angry and mad at his sponsor.
That's interesting if that's the case, because he is, while he's not, maybe the most popular dude on tour or anything like that, he is a fantastic player. I mean, he's one of the 10 best players in the world, I think.
I want to go back to this before we close down the show. Because it kind of all got swept under the rug. It's actually not even that big of a deal now. They don't get disqualified from the event. They just possibly get banned from future events, from what I understand. But to answer this question, when does it happen? As soon as Little Nick finishes second. And somebody like James Conrad. Well, we don't have to worry about that. Kevin No.
Sure, I mean,
if I was Rick, I'd be a little scared.
What's
Rick is so tweaky in these videos that they're putting out.
But I think Rick's just.
You think that's just his?
I think that's just Rick, right? I think that's just Rick's just a fidgety, all over the place dude. I watched, and I was just telling you, I watched not that long ago, maybe last week while I was working. I had YouTube on, and it was something that Jomez produced where Rick was sitting down with Rick's Roundtable with Bradley Williams and Yuli, and that dude's brain has to be going 8,000 miles an hour all the time, because he can barely form a sentence because it's just his brain's working faster than his mouth does. And I don't think Rick. I mean, maybe it does. I don't know. I'm one of the worst judges of all that stuff. But,
yeah, I don't care.
but so what's the deal on they don't get
they don't get stripped of their title. From what I understand, they just get banned from future competitions in that country or something like that.
So what's the point then? Fair enough. So
Fair enough.
who cares?
That's the way I understand it. I could be completely off base. I could have heard that from a non-reliable source and just ran with it. Honestly, I don't think it'll be a big deal coming down the stretch, and whatever happens, happens.
I hope not. We've got two big events the next 2 weeks. Let's keep them clean. Let's keep them fun.
Yeah, I hope they're amazing. So, all right, man. Well, we made it. We went a little bit. We went 11 minutes longer than we like to go. I like to try to keep them right at 60 minutes, but we're having too much fun. At least I was. So, and I really appreciate Greg and little Joe and Landon and Travis for being in the comments. That makes it so much more fun interacting with other people. So appreciate that. And I know that Junod will have this on at the shop tomorrow and people will watch it. So ultimately, dude, I just had an hour and 20 or 12 minutes of fun, and that's what I care about the most. So hopefully we brought some joy to somebody else while we were doing that. You got any shout outs?
Man, just my son Cameron and
He did it.
And his fiance Olivia. We got one coming, and just shout out to them that everything goes well this week, and we get Miles here safe and sound.
Heck yeah, man. That's cool stuff. I'm not ready for that yet, but I'm guessing it's probably going to happen in the next 3 or 4 years. So 5 years, maybe 12, 13 years. So, no, I just got to give a shout out to, first of all, the guys that I kind of already talked about. Anson for being there bright and early both mornings, helping me get stuff out at Cessna. Brandon Knopf is always ready to jump in and help, and that's really appreciated. And there's lots of people that help put stuff up and get stuff out, and it's awesome that, number one, that they feel that comfortable that they're willing to do that. I think that says a lot about our tournaments and the way they go. And then, of course, Craig, he was there on Sunday to help out and play. So I really appreciate those guys. And then everybody that came and played the tournament and was part of it, we really did have a great time. There's a few hiccups, like the live scoring app didn't have the rules on the holes, and somebody let me know. And dude, technology is amazing. I sat down on hole 2 while the other guys were teeing off, and I updated it, sent out a message, hey, sign out, sign back in, your rules will be there. And we just went right on about our business. So I had a great time. So, and I got win 98.99. I thought it was 100. I don't know where I miscounted.
So, what are you playing anything before Millbrook?
Why? Because you're gonna try to keep me from getting it?
Oh yeah, dude. If you're looking for 100 at Millbrook, you better look for it on Sunday. It ain't happening on Saturday.
I'm leaving on Thursday morning, and I'm driving to a remote course in South Dakota. I have a MP50 with nobody in it.
Flex start seats here with no MP50 signups.
That's the plan. So, no, I don't think I'm playing anything sanctioned until Millbrook. So,
well, I'm gonna do my best to not let you have that celebration happen at Millbrook Park. But
well, I don't think anybody ever lets me win. So,
I certainly don't. Unfortunately, it still happens more often than I like. But
right on, dude. All right, let's get out of here. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you. I'll see you. I don't know who I have. I think I got to figure out. I got to get on the ball earlier. But we'll talk this European Disc Golf Festival and the slippery slope of the song, whatever they call that place. Song grounds, music grounds, whatever. Later.
All right, guys. Peace.
What do they call it?
I have